Sarvebhyaha namaskaraha bhavatam. Sarvesham hartam swagatam. Prarthanaya arambam kurmaha. Krishno rakshadu manchara chara guruhu. Krishna namasyamyaham. Krishne namara shatravo vinikataha. Krishnaya tasmai namaha. Krishna deva samutthidam jagadidam. Krishnasya dasosmyaham. Krishne bhaktira janjalastu bhagavan. He Krishna tubhyan namaha. Prapanna parijataya. Totra vetraika panaye. Jnana mudraya Krishnaya. Gita mritatuhe namaha. Vasudeva sutan devam. Kamsa chanura martanam. Devaki paramanandam. Krishna vande jagat gurum. Sarvesham Puna Swagatam. So continue. We were talking about the gunas, the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So Sattva guna is, though it is very desirable, it has got qualities of purity, happiness, sukham, etc. So, but it is also binding. It also we want to retain it all the time. We want to retain that and the experience. That means we'll become addicted to that experience, but that means we won't be liberated. We won't get moksha. Liberation we won't get. So that way, that is the best of the gunas. That also has got problems. Rajo guna, of course, you know that it leads to a lot of activities, a lot of passion generating. There will be sukha, dukkha, and everything. So the cycle of happiness and sorrow, all that. So that will not. That is also not desirable. And tamas, of course, you know, it leads to heedlessness, carelessness, and indiscretion, sleep, and laziness. That guna also is not acceptable. But in generally, all these three gunas are there in every being. But it may be at sometimes Tattva guna is active. So other times the Rajo guna is active, other Tamo guna is active. So they may be active differently at a different times, but different. Even a particular day it will be different. It will be differing. So that's the play of the gunas. So now we will see the symptoms of the gunas. The ways of the gunas are further explained in this. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanayada tada vidyad vivriddham sattvam. So here Bhagavan says, Sarvat, when the light of knowledge, Sarvat Dvareshu Dekes in Prakasha Upajayate, when the light of knowledge beams through all the gateways of the body, Sarvat Dvareshu Dekes, in all the indriyas, this light of knowledge, that the light of our that is the Brahman in us, it is beamed through, it be visible to everyone. Jnana yada tata vidya, that is, it may be known. Knowledge is beamed through all the gateways of our body. Then it may be seen that sattva is predominant. Sattva guna is predominant. That is the indication of the predominance or dominating nature of sattva guna. So here, what Bhagavan says is, man's body is very much like a box. Lamp. There's a lamp in a box. Suppose you say lamp in a box and lamp is burning, and the box has got to covered with glasses of different colors. Then we can see it be beaming of different colors. So, and the intensity of the light goes up. In the radiance is much more like that. The sense organs are the gateways for the light of the self within to beam into view. The sense organs are the gateways. Our eyes, ears, all those indriyas are the gateways through which the light of knowledge beams into full view. While in Sattva-guna, the radiance, effulgence of the self is at its height. The radiance is very at much height. This is seen by the functioning of the senses. In the act of seeing, there is sharpness. You see sharp. You see very clearly everything with clear sight. You will not be haziness in your seeing. There is sharpness in your seeing. In hearing, alertness. You are alert. All these are symptoms or evidences of Sattva-guna is predominating. In performing action, there is precision accompanied by deliberation and accuracy. You accurately and deliberately, you act correctly. So all these are evidences of the Sattva-guna is predominating in us. So all the senses function pleasantly at their best. So they function there pleasantly at their best. So is the marks of the predominance of Sattva-guna. So when we observe this in us, we can say that Sattva-guna is predominant. Or if you see somebody else is acting in this way, is showing these evidences, then we can say Sattva-guna is predominating in that person. We will continue.
Padma Vishwanathan Bhagini.
Sarvadvareshu dehesmin.
Sarvadvareshu dehesmin. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin.
Prakasha upajayate.
Prakasha upajayate. Prakasha upajayate.
Jnanayada tada vidyad.
Jnanayada tada vidyad. Jnanayada tada vidyad.
Vivruddham sattvamityuta.
Vivruddham sattvamityuta. Vivruddham sattvamityuta.
Uttama.
Anita Bhagini.
Sarvadvareshu tehesmin.
Sarvat dvareshu dehesmin. Sarvat dvareshu dehesmin.
Prakasha upajayate.
Prakashu pujayate. Prakashu pujayate.
Jnanayada tada vidyad.
Jnanam yada tada vidyat. Jnanam yada tada vidyat.
Vivruddham sattvamityuta.
Vividvam sattvam vidyayuta. Vividyam sattvam vidyayuta. Sarvat vareshu desmin. Prakashu pujayate. Jnanam yada tada vidyat. Vividyam sattvam vidyayuta. Hare Krishna.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Malini Bhagini.
Sarvadvareshu tehesmin prakasha upajayate.
Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate.
Sarvadvareshu.
Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate.
Here there is we will
Jnanai
okay.
Yadat.
I tell you, here vidyad vivruddham. Here, even you have used it, then we can continuously chant it. Jnanayada tada vidyad vivruddham sattvamityuta. If it is vidyat, ta is there, then you can break it here. So since it is vidyat, we will continue to chant this whole thing as one this thing. Jnanayada tada vidyat vivruddham sattvamityuta.
ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद्विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्वृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत
ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत
ज्ञानै यदा तद्विद्याद्
तथा विद्या
विवृद्धं
ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत
ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
उत्तम. We will continue.
Jagan Bhagini.
We will continue to chant this as one. We will consider vidyadu vivruddham like that. Continue.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानै यथा तथा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत
We'll continue. Now, ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
Lakshmi Kiran Bhagini.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
Now, here I will chant this sloka. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanai yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattvamityuta.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
We will not break here. Jnanai yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattvamityuta.
ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
Uttam.
Hema Bhagini.
Bhagini, did you call me or?
Yes, Bhagini. Hema Bhagini.
Bhagini, sorry.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
विद्याद् विवृद्धं continuously we chant.
Oh, sorry, Mahodaya. सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
उत्तम.
Meenakshi Ramurthy Bhagini.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानै यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत.
उत्तम. Feel good. Next sloka. लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते वृद्धे भरतर्षभा. So here lobha, that is greed. Then lobha means greed. Pravrittihi prarambha, that is activity, undertaking of actions, and ashamaha, that is unrest, and spriha. Spriha means longing, yearnest desire, strong desire, spriha. Rajasyetani, So these are the gunas, or these are the outward expressions of when the this is the rajas is predominant. Rajas yetani jayante vivruddhe bharatarsha. These things are seen predominantly in people who has got a rajas is predominating in them. Rajas is predominating, and they will see this lobha. Lobha means attempt to possess others' property. Is greed. Lobha, that is greed. Attempt to take others' property as one's own. That is a greed, and officiously engaging oneself in matters not one's own. It is not his botheration at all, but he is trying to interfere in that work. What is meant, that is meant by activity. Activity is that you enter into areas where you are not required to interfere. So that is activity. Increasing one's own activities unnecessarily and out of proportion is not the way of the wise. That is, you take up a lot of assignments beyond your capacity, beyond your requirement, beyond your capacity. If you take up a lot of assignments, lot of projects, that is also a kind of it's not a way of the wise. Wise people don't do that. Wise people do take up only those work that they can do well, and they will complete it, and that is the way they work, and not take up everything and then mess up everything. So that they will not do. That is also a scene of rajasic this thing. And elation, that is you undertake something, and you sometimes you succeed, you are very happy, and sometimes you fail that you're undertaking, then you are dejected or you're sorrowful. So there is a cycle of happiness and sorrow there. And oscillation of the mind is called unrest. Ashamaha, that is mind is oscillating. That is called unrest. And spriha, longing, that is desiring for something. That is a neighbor is having a lot of years, made up a lot of money due to some venture he has made up. So a greedy man will want to enter into similar venture and try to copy that man. Maybe he'll fail in that attempt. So his impatience catches up with the neighbor that is known as longing. His neighbor is prospering, he's unable to cope up with him. So he is unable to prosper himself, and he is worried about that, or he is thinking about that. That is called longing for something. So these are all the expressions of people when rajas is predominant in them. That is what is attempt to possess others' properties, and then going on interfering in others or matters that you are not required to interfere at all, and then taking up a lot of assignments, lot of projects, and not able to complete, not able to do justice to those things. Then also taking up assignments, and then when it is successful, you'll be happy. If it's not successful, you'll be unhappy. There's oscillation of ups and downs should be there. So you are all always, your mind is going from this end to that end. And also you are longing, you are wanting to make as much as when a neighbor is prospering well, you also want to prosper. So you try to catch up with him. That is called longing. So these are all the expressions of a man who is rajasic. Rajasic qualities are predominant in him. We'll continue. Here, lobha. Here there is upadmanya is there. Lobha pravrittirarambha karmana mashamaspriha. That's will come here. Karmana mashamaspriha rajasyetani jayante viruddhe bharatarshabha. We'll continue.
Kalavati Bhagini.
Lobha pravrittirarambha.
Lopa pravrittirarambha. Lopa pravrittirarambha.
Karmana mashamaspriha.
Karmana masamaspruha. Karmana masamaspruha.
Rajasyetani jayante.
Rajasyetani jayante. रजस्येतानि जायन्ते
विवृद्धे भरतर्षभा
विवृते भरतर्षभ विवृते भरतर्षभः विवृते भरतर्षभ
उत्तमम्
धन्यवादः
वत्सला भगिनी
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः
लोभप्रवृत्तिरारम्भः लोभप्रवृत्तिरारम्भः
कर्मणामशमस्पृहा
कर्मणामसमस्पृहा
रजस्येतानि जायन्ते
रजस्येतानि जायन्ते
विवृद्धे भरतर्षभा
विवृते भरतर्षभ
भरतर्षभा
भरदर्षभ
भरतर्षभा
भरदर्षभ
तर्षभा
भरदर्षभ
उत्तमम्
नागमणि भगिनी
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा
रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभा
रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ
उत्तमम्
अनसूया भगिनी
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभा
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणाशमस्पृहा कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ
उत्तमम्
धन्यवादः
लक्ष्मी HS भगिनी
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ
उत्तमम्
रघुनाथ महोदय
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ
लोभः प्रवृत्ति double ta is there here लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ
उत्तम
धन्यवादः
So now we'll see what about tamas, what are the outward visible expressions or the indications of tamoguna, when tamoguna is predominant. Aprakasho pravrittischa pramado moha yevacha tamasyetani jayante vivruddhe kuru nandana. So aprakasho, that is indiscrimination, inertness, and heedlessness, we said carelessness and all that, and delusion, moha. Pramada is heedlessness, and moha is delusion. These arise, Kurunandana, when tamasic qualities are predominant. So here, aprakasha means darkness. That is no prakasham, that is no light, is darkness. So darkness of the mind lands one into indiscrimination. That is darkness of the mind. Lands one into indiscrimination. There is no initiative in the one lacking on discrimination. So when there is no discrimination, he has no initiative, and lethargy takes over. Such a dull person, he becomes heedless, careless, or indifferent to progress and prosperity in life. Is deluded, and mistakes happen. Stagnation for self. He mistakes stagnation for self-sufficiency. When he is really stagnated, but he thinks it is okay. He is happy with it like that. He can progress, but he is not able to progress because discrimination is in darkness. He is not able to clearly see, and the man becomes depraved. That is, he deviates from moral path. He becomes corrupt. So this is the outward expression of when tamasic qualities are predominant in a person. We'll continue.
Vinoda Bhagini.
Aprakasho pravrittischa.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Aprakasho pravrittischa.
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 This is double title. Pravrittischa.
Aprakasho pravrittischa.
Pramado moha evacha.
Pramado moha evacha. Pramado moha evacha.
Tamasyetani jayante.
Tamasyetani jayante. Tamasyetani jayante.
Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Vivruddhe kuru nandana. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Uttam.
Devi Chitra Bhagini.
Aprakasho pravrittischa.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Aprakasho pravrittischa.
Pramado moha evacha.
Pramado moha evacha. Pramado moha evacha.
Tamasyetani jayante.
Tamasyetani jayante. Tamasyetani jayante.
Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Vivruddhe kuru nandana. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Uttam.
Golak Mahodaya.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha. Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha.
Tamasyetani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Tamaste tani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana. Tamaste tani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Uttam.
Kanchana Shriram Bhagini.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha.
Prakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha. Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha.
Tamasyetani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Tamasyetani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana. Tamasyetani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Uttam.
Sapna Bhagini.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha. Tamasyetani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha. Tamasyetani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Uttam.
Rema Shriram Bhagini.
Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramado moha evacha. Tamasyetani jayante. Vivruddhe kuru nandana.
Uttam.
Anasuya Bhagini.
अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे कुरु नन्दन
Uttam. Let's go to next sloka.
धन्यवादः
So what happens, the connection between the ascending guna, the predominating guna, and reincarnation of Jivatma. When it gets next birth, the connection between the last stage, at the time of departing from the body, what is the ascending guna? That will decide the next janma, next birth of the person. So, yada sattve pravruddhetu, pralayayati dekhabrit. Yada sattve pravruddhetu, pralayayati dekhabrit. That is embodied one when at the time of departure, where the sattva is predominating. Tadottama vitalokan amalan pratipadyate. So this is what happens. If the embodied one meets with death when sattva is predominant, sattva guna is predominant, then he goes to pure worlds. Tadottama vitalokan. Tada uttama loka. He goes to pure worlds. Amalan, that is pure. Amalan, pure. Pratipadyate. The Uttama Vidam, that is well known, that is knowledgeable, those who know the highest. Amalan Pratipadyate, that is, he goes to the pure worlds of those who know the highest. If his dominating guna at the time of his departure, if it were Sattva guna, this is what happens. Tadottama vitalokan amalan pratipadyate. So here we'll continue here. Pralayayati. Here pralayayati dehabhrit. Is there dehinam, same thing. Dehabhrit, that is embodied one. That is the human beings. We'll continue.
Padma Jagat Bhagini.
Yata sattve pravruddhetu.
यथा सत्त्वे प्रवृत्ते तु
Pralayayati dehabhrit.
प्रलयय्याति देहभृत्
Tadottama vitalokan amalan pratipadyate.
अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते
Uttam.
Pushpa Bhagini.
Yada sattve pravruddhetu.
यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धेतु
Pralayayati dehabhrit.
प्रलयय्याति देहभृत्
Tadottama vitalokan
तदोत्तमविदाल्लोकान्
amalan pratipadyate.
अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते
Uttam.
Malavati Bhagini.
Yada sattve pravruddhetu pralayayati dehabhrit.
यथा सत्त्वे प्रवृत्तेतु प्रलयय्याति देहभृत् यथा सत्त्वे प्रवृत्तेतु प्रलयय्याति देहभृत्
Tadottama vitalokan amalan pratipadyate.
ततोत्तमविधां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते ततोत्तमविधां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते
Avitalokan. This is instead of this anuswara, you'll say this anunasika lo il. Tadottama vitalokan.
ततोत्तमविधां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते
Pratipadyate.
प्रतिपद्यते
Uttam.
धन्यवाद.
Nagamani Bhagini.
Yada sattve pravruddhe tu pralayayati dekhabhrit.
Yada sattve pravruddhetu pralayayati dehabhrute. Yada sattve pravruddhetu pralayayati dehabhrute.
Tadottama vidalokan amalan pratipadyate.
Tadottama vidalokan amalan pratipadyate. Tadottama vidalokan amalan pratipadyate.
Uttamani. Dhanyawad.
Lakshmi HS Bhagini.
Yada sattve pravruddhe tu pralayayati dekhabhrit. Tadottama vidalokan amalan pratipadyate.
यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलययाति देहभृत् तदोत्तमविदान् लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते.
Uttam.
Lakshmi Kiran Bhagini.
यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलययाति देहभृत् तदोत्तमविदान् लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते.
Uttam.
Meenakshi Bhagini.
यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलययाति देहभृत् तदोत्तमविदान् लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते.
Uttam. So here, what is told in this is I have explained. Thought uppermost in the mind while departing is the deciding factor of the next birth of the Jivatman. Because Sattva is predominant, prevail is, at the time of death, godly thoughts are inevitable. So Brahmaloka is the highest among the regions obtained by the embodied. Only we can reach only the Brahmaloka, where Brahma, highest deity, is the creator Brahma or the Hiranyagarbha we call. So is the highest we can reach. That means it is not that Brahma Jnana will come, which is the most desirable one. Brahma Jnana will not come, but we will reach, of course, Brahmaloka. It is possible. So that's why here many of these Hindu families, they name their children God's names, so that when they call at the time of when the old men, when they depart, they call their children or grandchildren by names. So that at the time, at least in the time of death, they'll be calling out some God's names. So that will give them maybe better birth in their next janma. We'll continue, go to the next sloka. We'll go to what happens when Rajasic thing is predominant. Rajase palayam gatva karma sangishu jayate. When the pralayam means the dissolution or the destruction, the death happens in the Rajasi, in the Rajasic thoughts, Rajasic predominance, karma sangishu jayate. That is, he goes into activity. He'll be attached to activity only. Tatha pralinas tamasi. Tatha pralinas tamasi. When tamasi, his thoughts are predominant and the death occurs. Muthayo nishu jayate. It goes into, he gets birth into as a subhuman being, or an animal or something. He will go into that even when the first thoughts are predominant. So here, Rajase pralayam, there is a ditvam here. Rajase pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate. Jayate means getting born, born in the, again, activities, where there are full of activities, that kind of families, he gets born. Tatha pralinas tamasi. Here also there is a ditvam here. Tatha pralinas tamasi muthayo nishu jayate. So here, meeting with the death in Rajas. He is born among those attached to action, and dying in Tamas, he is born in the wombs of the deluded. Mutha yonishu jayate. So Sattviga man dies in all calmness and in full consciousness, whereas Rajasic men with the excitement, desire, and so when they the time of their death. So born as the one, and he gets born as a person into families given to excessive activities. The tamasic man dies in unconscious state, hence born again as a subhuman being or mutha yonishu, a wombs of the deluded. He will get next birth. This is what Bhagavan says here. We'll continue.
Devi Chitra Bhagini.
Rajase pralayang gatva.
Rajasi pralayang gatva. Rajasi pralayang gatva.
Here, a Rajasi. If you say Rajasi, this Ditvam will not come. Only when you say Raswa, it will, Ditvam will come. Rajase pralayang gatva.
Rajasi pralayang gatva. Rajasi pralayang gatva.
Karma sangishu jayate.
Karma sangishu jayate. Karma sangishu jayate.
Tatha pralinastamasi.
Tatha pralinastamasi. Tatha pralinastamasi.
Muthayonishu jayate.
Mudhayonishu jayate. Mudhayonishu jayate.
Uttam.
Pushpa Bhagini.
Rajasi pralayan gatva. Rajasi pralayan gatva. Rajasi pralayan gatva.
Karma sangishu jayate.
Karma sangishu jayate. Karma sangishu jayate.
Tatha pralinastamasi.
Tata pralinastamasi. Tata pralinastamasi.
Muthayonishu jayate.
Mudhayonishu jayate. Mudhayonishu jayate.
Uttam.
Gholap Mahodaya.
Rajase pralayang gatva. Karma sangishu jayate.
Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate. Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate.
Here, if you say Rajasi, if you dirkha, if you say this Ditvam will not come. This one will come only when the previous this thing is Raswa. So you must chant it as Raswa. Rajasi, otherwise you Rajasi pralayang gatva. There is no Ditvam there. So
Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate.
Sangishu. Sangishu. This is Raswa. Karma sangishu jayate.
Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate.
Tatha pralinastamasi. Muthayonishu jayate.
Tatha pralinastamasi. Muthayonishu jayate. Tatha pralinastamasi. Muthayonishu jayate.
Muthayonishu jayate.
Mudhayonishu jayate.
Yonishu
jayate.
Uttam.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Malini Bhagini.
Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate.
Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate. Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate.
Tatha pralinastamasi. Mudhayonishu jayate.
Tatha pralinastamasti. Sorry. Tatha pralinastamasi. तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते.
Uttam.
Raghunath Mahodaya.
Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha pralinastamasi मूढयोनिषु जायते.
रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गिषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते.
उत्तम.
धन्यवाद.
Sapna Baldua Bhagini.
रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गिषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते.
उत्तम.
Padma Jagan Bhagini. Padma Jagan Bhagini.
रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गिषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते.
उत्तम. Next one. Karmana sukritasyahuhu. Karmana sukritasyahuhu. Satvikan nirmalam phalam. Satvikan nirmalam phalam. Rajasastu phalan dukham. Rajasastu phalan dukham. Ajñānan tamasah phalam. So here, karmanas sukritasyahuhu. That is the fruit of good action. Karmanas sukritasyahuhu. They say is sattvic and pure. Sattvikam nirmalam phalam. That is the fruit of good action. They say is sattvic as well as pure. Fruits of rajasic action. Rajasastu phalan dukham. Rajasic fruits of the rajasic action is dukham, pain, and ignorance, ajñānan, tamasah phalam. Ignorance is the fruit of tamasic action. So tamas engulfs man in inertia and wicked deeds which prevent upward progress. A tamasic man, he indulges in wicked deeds and present him and makes him his progress very difficult. So rajas leads him to prosperity. So rajasic man is active and he is doing work, maybe not selfless work, maybe even selfish work, but he works and therefore leads him to prosperity. But it drives him into action, to more and more action. So what he says is from the tamasic action, how can one step up to sattvic action? So from tamasic action, if it takes on to rajasic action, that is taking up activities, he might failing sometime, but he will succeed sometime. So he will become better and better. So it drives him to action. But nature of karma may bring in misery. He may sometimes fail miserably, but it has great purpose to serve. But misery has great purpose to serve. It induces him to soar high. It makes him to try more and more, again and again. So in misery, his character is shaped. He becomes better, he becomes knowledgeable, and he finds out how he can overcome his difficulties, problems, and how he can come out. And dharma emanates from him. He sees his deficiencies and he tries to correct them, and he makes progress. So that way he evolves. And ultimately dharma, good contact, lifts him to sattvic, which is purity and brilliance. So this is what is there. Karmana sukritasyahuhu sattvikan nirbalam phalam rajasastu phalan dukham ajñānan tamasah phalam. So from tamasa we can go to rajasic, and from rajasic by continuous evolution we can go into sattvic. So this is what is mentioned here. So we'll continue. Karmana sukritasyahuhu.
Padma Vishwanathan Bhagini.
Karmana sukritasyahuhu. Karmana sukritasyahuhu.
Satvikan nirmalam phalam.
Satvikan nirmalam phalam. Satvikan nirmalam phalam.
Rajasastu phalan dukham.
Rajasastu phalan dukham. Rajasastu phalan dukham.
You're telling phalan.
Phalan dukham.
Phalan.
Rajasastu phalan dukham.
Ajnanantamasaf phalam.
Ajnanantamasaf phalam. Ajnanantamasaf phalam.
Uttam.
Rema Shriram Bhagini.
Karmana sukritasyahuhu.
कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः
Satvikan nirmalam phalam.
सात्विकं निर्मलं फलं सात्विकं निर्मलं फलं
Rajasastu phalan dukham.
रजसस्तु फलं दुःखं रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम्
Ajnanantamasaf phalam.
अज्ञानं तमसः फलम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलम्
Uttam.
Anjana Shriram Bhagini.
Karmana sukritasyahuhu. Satvikan nirmalam phalam.
कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः सात्विकं निर्मलं फलं कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः सात्विकं निर्मलं फलं
Rajasastu phalan dukham. Ajnanantamasaf phalam.
रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलं रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलम्
Uttam.
Vinoda Bhagini.
Karmana sukritasyahuhu. Satvikan nirmalam phalam. Rajasastu phalan dukham. Ajnanantamasaf phalam.
कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः सात्विकं निर्मलं फलं रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलम्
Uttam.
Hema Bhagini. Hema KR Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini. Karmana sukrutasyahuhu satvikan nirmalam phalam rajasastu phalan dukham ajnanam tamasah phalam.
Uttam. I'll chant the 4 slokas, today's slokas. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanayada tada vidyat vivruddham sattva-mityuta lobhah pravrittirarambha karmanamashamaspruha rajasyetani jayante vivruddhe bharatarshava Aprakasho pravrittischa pramado moha eva cha tamasyetani jayante vivruddhe kuru nandana yata sattve pravruddhetu pralayayati dekhabhrit tadottamavital amalan pratipadyate Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha praleenastamasi mudhayonishu jayate karmana sukritasyahuhu satvikan nirmalam phalam rajasastu phalan dukham ajnanam tamasah phalam. Samapayamaka. We'll conclude the Shanti mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. धन्यवाद. पुनः मिलामः. राम राम राम.
धन्यवादः महोदय।